Welcome to rSlash Entitledparents, where an insane mother brings a shotgun to school. Our first Reddit post is from Jenilyn. So yeah, backstory. My first daughter's middle name is after my husband's late mother. Her date of passing was the same date as our due date, so we decided to honor her by naming our daughter's middle name after her. Fast forward to my second and current pregnancy. We're having another girl, and since nobody else had any memorable date matchups with the due date, we decided to name her after whatever name we found. We picked the middle name Ash. My mother, also a major narcissist, is having none of this. Well, its middle name is going to be Lynn, right? After me? No, we only named our first like that because she isn't here. She died when my husband was 10. But it's my turn now. I've told her that no, we're not naming our daughter after her, but she brings it up often. And every time I tell her no, she starts having these guilt trip tantrums. But it's my turn. Would you rather be there to help raise your grandchild than to be dead and only remembered by name? Both. I swear. This edit, just another fun thing. After I gave birth to my first child, I wanted to get a tattoo of her. Her name is of a flower, and I've been telling this to anyone who cares. Well, my mom texted me a picture one day of, you guessed it, a tattoo of said flower on her ankle, and the stem writes my daughter's name. I mean, what a stupid move. I mean, she probably didn't need permission to do that, but it's kinda immature that she made sure to get it done before I could. Good news, Mom. I've named my daughter after you. Before her name was Jennifer Lawrence, now her name is Jennifer Stuck-Up Grunt Lawrence. Our next Reddit post is from Dancing Stark. Background, my family is a tad complicated. I have 3 brothers. I'm the second to last kid and the only girl. My mother's been pregnant 3 times by 3 different men. My older brother is 25 and a teacher. My twin and I are 18 and seniors. My younger brother is 16 and a sophomore. We all teach at and attend the same school. To make things more complicated, we all took different last names. My brothers took their fathers while I have our mothers. Because of this, some people don't connect the dots that we're related. Now onto the story. Junior year, my twin brother dated a girl for a couple months. She was very sweet. We were friendly, but never friends. After they broke up, they tried staying friends, but it didn't work. The girl took it rather well, but her mother didn't. She hated me and my brother from then on. Fast forward to senior year. It's the end of the day, and I pop in to say goodbye to my older brother who teaches history. He jumps up, very excited, to tell me his boyfriend, now fiancé, is coming to visit. We chat excitedly about it for a bit, then I hug him goodbye. At that moment, entitled mother storms in. She stops short when she sees us, and her eyes narrow. She looks between us like she's caught us at something. I should have known. She turns and leaves the room. Older brother and I look at each other confused. A minute later, entitled mother comes back with the principal. See, this little slut was throwing herself at this teacher. The principal looks very confused. He's known my family for years and knows we're siblings. Ma'am, I highly doubt that. I saw it happen. My brother says, ma'am, first of all, I'm gay. Entitled mother makes a slight squeaking noise at this. Second, she's my sister. The principal lost his cool at this point, laughing at this pathetic woman. She turns red, then white, then red again. She ran out of the room embarrassed. Graduation is soon, and I hope I never have to see her again. Unfortunately, I know she loves theater and I work in a company that's local. Crossing my fingers she'll never show up there. Hot mom walks in on teacher with stepsister. I think I've seen this exact video on Pornhub. Our next Reddit post is from Wyatt the God. So this isn't my story, but my social studies teacher's who just moved here from Florida. I don't know if the entitled mother was high or something, but eventually she came to her senses. Also, I know it's a Florida woman, not a man, but no one really cares, so you can F off. So the teacher that entitled mother was mad at in particular wasn't my social studies teacher, but the kid was in her class. Now, this kid had the IQ of a goldfish. He missed half the classes, and my teacher wouldn't tell us what his grades were, but they were garbage. Now, he was absolutely bombing one of the classes. Like, he actually managed to get a negative grade in it. Points were taken off the assignment for it being late, and it was incorrect. So I guess entitled mom had gotten the report card and had not been very happy. So instead of considering the fact that her son literally had an IQ lower than his age, she decided a bright idea was to pull up to school with a freaking shotgun. Not even like a pistol. Not even like a pistol or anything, but a freaking shotgun. So naturally, the school goes into a code red lockdown and the police are called. Once the school goes into lockdown, entitled mother decides this is a good time to leave and go home. So the SWAT team ends up searching the entire area for 30 minutes. After that, they go to the house and arrest this crazy lady, and she ends up arrested on various charges. Also, it turns out she had a criminal record and she wasn't even allowed to be holding a firearm. So that's a bonus. Just another day in Florida. This mother isn't just a helicopter mom. This woman is an attack helicopter mom. Our next Reddit post is from Green Bay Sitter. I lost my leg in a car accident. I was in rehab to learn to walk, so I was given a wheelchair to use when out and about for extended lengths of time. I'm about 3 months into rehab, which is going really well. I'm out in town doing a little gift shopping for the nurses helping with my rehab. I'm in a chocolate shop grabbing a few bits and I stand up from my chair to grab something off the top shelf, a large selection box, when the entitled parent comes over. "You're not disabled, I'm taking this." I just drop back into the chair. "You can't, I need it." She cuts me off mid-sentence. "You're just conning the government for money. Get out so my daughter can use it. She's really tired." I was in an accident and have to learn to walk again. I need that chair. The tired kid says, "Mommy, you said I could have it. I want to be pushed around." She said to her brat, "I'll get it in a moment." "You're clearly not an effing spastic, so get your dull jockey butt up and let my precious child have it. People like you make me effing sick claiming to be a retard, so you don't have to work, sponging money off us hard-working people so you can live a comfy life." While she was saying this, I was slowly removing my leg and about 5 people in the shop staff were looking directly at us. "You have till the count of 5 to get your effing lazy butt out of the chair or I'll drag you out of it." I just detached my leg and as fast as I can, I go to hand it to her. I scream, "My leg's fallen off, someone call a doctor. Has anyone seen my original leg?" The entitled parent looks mortified and sputters an incoherent sentence. Me, still with a raised voice and waving my leg around like a flag. "Help, I can't find my original leg. Everyone, empty your pockets, one of you must have it." Entitled parent basically runs out of the shop while dragging her child behind her. The group that had gathered around us were laughing so hard. My future mother-in-law, at this point in my life, taught me in a previous post how throwing more crazy at these types of people seems to throw them and they can't handle it. A couple helped me refit my leg and I finished my shopping and went on my way. This entitled mother didn't just put her own foot in her mouth, she could have also put OP's foot in her mouth. Our next Reddit story is from Jelly Roll Rider, and fair warning on this one, this story involves the death of a child. Hey Reddit, I thought I'd share a story my mom told me years ago from her time as a nurse in an emergency room. My mom has told me this story multiple times, but I'm still going off memory. About 15 years ago, my mom was working the night shift in an emergency room when they got called by an incoming ambulance to be prepared for incoming car crash victims, including an unresponsive toddler. What had happened was a pregnant mother with a 5-year-old in the back was driving drunk the wrong way down the highway and hit a minivan head on. The minivan had a mother and her 18-month-old baby in the backseat. To simplify injuries, the minivan driver had collapsed lungs, concussion, and neck injuries. The baby was unresponsive, which was extremely serious. The 5-year-old had bruising from the seatbelt and whiplash. The drunk woman somehow only had a dislocated shoulder and some bruising. When the victims arrive, the baby is the first to be worked on. The baby isn't breathing on its own, so the entire staff -2 are working on them. One doctor checks on the 5-year-old, who for the most part is okay, and one nurse works on the minivan driver, who is in bad shape but stable. One nurse quickly checks on the drunk woman but determines she's okay and goes to help with the baby. This is where she goes from just being a jerk to being pure evil. The drunk woman apparently starts yelling at the doctors and nurses that she's in pain and needs to be seen now and she wants pain medication. One of the doctors tells her she's fine and they need to focus on the baby who is near death. The woman doesn't care and wants her pain meds. She can't have any anyways because she's drunk. Over the next 20 to 25 minutes, my mom and the doctors desperately try to save the baby while the lady, who is handcuffed to a stretcher in the hallway because all the other rooms are full and is under arrest, is screaming at them the entire time that she wants to be seen and wants drugs. You all don't have to work on them. Someone come help me. Unfortunately, the baby didn't make it. This was very hard for the staff to accept, and my mom, along with one of the other nurses, starts crying. It's at this moment the lady screams something to the effect, "Okay, the baby's gone now. Can someone come help me now?" My mom is a very professional person who treats her patients with respect, even when they don't deserve it. But in this case, she just loses it. She runs up to the lady, who is still handcuffed to her stretcher because she's under arrest for DUI, and grabs her by the hair. She drags this woman by her hair, still attached to the stretcher, into the baby's room and makes her look at the baby she killed. The lady tries to look away, but my mom starts screaming at her. "Look what you did! You killed this child! That's why we weren't helping you. We were saving the baby you killed. Look at them! Look at them!" At this point, the security and police remove my mom from the room and calm her down. She's sent home and immediately suspended from her job. They seriously considered firing her, but all the doctors in the hospital stood up for her, so she was just suspended for 2 weeks without pay and had to take a sensitivity class instead. The lady who caused the accident ended up being an illegal immigrant and spent 5 years in prison before being deported. I wish I could end this story on a happier note, but nothing about this story is happy. Ending this story with the image of this jerk being dragged by her hair through an emergency room with a dislocated arm is the best I can do. 5 years? This woman got 5 years? If you were the judge on this case, would you give this woman 5 years? Let me know down in the comments what sentence you would give this woman. Our next Reddit post is from Bippity Boppity Boo. So, my parents kinda treat me like a maid. I do all laundry, housekeeping, washing, cleaning, basically everything. So, I recently attempted suicide. Yesterday, actually, and I'm in the hospital writing this, and I'm actually allowed my phone, which is kinda cool. So, when I woke up after having my stomach pumped and recovering, the nurse went to get my family. They come in and immediately started yelling. "Why did you pull this stunt? Imagine the payments for this effing room and ambulance." Then my father says, "Who will wash the dishes? Do laundry, you effing..." The nurse says, "I'm sorry, but you have to leave. She's in a fragile mental state." I started crying almost immediately after they began yelling. "She is our daughter. We have to be here." No, ma'am, please leave. She is very sensitive. You effing nurse! I bet you have been doing nothing this entire day, you lazy person. You know that thing people think where nurses get a lot of breaks and are lazy? Yeah, my parents are those types of people. Leave us! Ma'am, I need you to stop cursing and leave. Fine! So they left. I never thought my parents were entitled, as they did defend me to certain things, like my entitled aunt saying it was my fault I was raped and more of her BS. But they are actually extremely entitled. This is one instance of my parents' secret entitlement. They were yelling outside of my room as well. They were very pissed about my attempt, obviously. So I went back and forth for a while trying to figure out if I should publish this story because I don't like showcasing abuse as entertainment. But ultimately I decided to because this behavior is not normal. And to be honest, I'm a little bit worried at how normal OP thinks that it is. OP, your parents aren't entitled. They're worse than that. They're toxic. I really recommend you check out the subreddit r/raised by narcissists. It kinda sounds like you might be living in that situation. I'm really worried about the line where you say, hey, you know that thing people think where nurses are really lazy? No, actually, nobody knows that because nobody thinks that. Actually, the popular sentiment about nurses nowadays is that they're grossly overworked. So if you think that's a widespread opinion, then your parents are lying to you so much that you're believing their lies. I'm not in any way, shape, or form criticizing OP in this situation because OP is 100% the victim. What I'm doing is trying to bring attention to the fact that sometimes people suffer abuse and don't realize just how bad it is. In fact, I almost certainly have viewers watching this video right now who are suffering abuse and don't realize it's abuse. If someone close to you is making you suffer, that is not normal. And I strongly encourage you to reach out to someone for help. r/raised by narcissists is a really good start. That was r/entitled parents. And just a reminder, I have started putting out podcasts of all of my YouTube videos. You can find the link down in the description.